I used to think I'd have it all figured out by now, that success had a deadline, that love meant getting attention, that the younger you started, the more valuable your journey was. But the truth is, my 20s have been a loop of proving myself wrong, over and over and over again. And maybe that's the point. I started my 20s chasing dating, social skills, charisma, and validation. I thought if I just leveled up there, everything else would fall into place. And when that finally got easy, it suddenly didn't feel like a win anymore. Just another batch I wasn't even sure I wanted. Turns out, confidence built externally doesn't stick. It's like teaching Fire Blast to a Gyarados. Sure, it can work, but that's not what it was built for. So I pivoted. I went full discipline, monk mode, gym, work, save and grind. I told myself this is what matters. I was wasting my time dating. And yeah, it worked. I saved up 70k. I got fit, I built systems. But I still felt like I was stuck in a hamster wheel. I suddenly had strong stats, but I had no sense of direction. Like, I had a perfectly trained team, but no one to play against. And just when I thought I was making progress, the path was blocked by a bunch of Psyducks, frozen, stuck, just like me. Here's the kicker. Having the things you used to want doesn't mean you feel fulfilled now. That realization hit me harder than expected, because I really thought back then, when I had dated X amount of girls, I would be happy, I would love myself. And when I'd made X amount of money, built the body I wanted, I would be happy. But the thing is, when you've checked all those boxes, and it still doesn't feel like your life, you start to wonder if you've been leveling up inside someone else's save file, wasting your own experience. Then a month ago, I moved to Copenhagen. A completely new place, a new chapter in my life. It certainly looked like the next evolution. And it is, in some ways. But that's not because I quote-unquote made it. That's because I finally started subtracting what doesn't align with me and my core values. The most dangerous myth in your 20s? That everyone's supposed to evolve at the same pace and through the same method. We see 19-year-olds building empires on social media and then we think we missed our shot. But this isn't a race. It's not even the same game we're playing. Everyone picks a different starter. Everyone learns different moves at different levels. Everybody has different natures and EVs and IVs that they gather throughout their journey. Some people fly through the first gyms. Others take their time in the tall grass. There's no right or wrong here. You are not behind if you stayed on the first round a bit longer than the others. You're just training a bit differently. You're just growing a bit differently. So what actually matters in your 20s? That's not having the answers, but instead learning how to ask better questions. Similarly, it's not building the quote-unquote perfect life that I described at the beginning of the video. It's about building alignment with yourself. For me, this channel has helped me immensely to create that alignment. I'm creating things and talking about things that I care about my past mistakes, about things that are bringing me forward. I'm being completely honest about that mess, using this as my personal journal that you guys can learn from. I'm like the first of those rockets they send into space when we waited to get to Rocket 100 so we could actually finally meet Jirachi in Pokemon Emerald. If you know, you know. And honestly, I'm really finding joy in a life that looks nothing like what I expected. Because success isn't a 6-figure income by 25, which is what I really wanted when I was younger. It's the clarity to know what you don't want, and the courage to pivot when it no longer fits you. Some Pokemon evolve at level 10, like Butterfree, and are really useful in the beginning of the game. Others, like Hydreigon, doesn't evolve until after the Elite Four, at level 64. I'm one of those types. I did not evolve early, it took me some time, and now I'm finally starting to see my second evolution, see that all the work I did earlier in my 20s, it's starting to pay off, and honestly I think when I'm in my 30s, that'll be when I'm peaking. And I'm saying this to tell you that don't feel like you're late with your evolution. You're powerful in a different way. So if it feels like you're taking longer to evolve, and you're struggling in your early 20s, late 20s, or even 30s, good. It means you're leveling up on your own terms, in your own region, on your own path. And I'd really love to hear from you guys. What's something you thought mattered that doesn't anymore? And what's something you used to ignore that actually does matter now? Let's figure this out together, route by route, batch by batch.